Section 5.5a is about the point slope form. This is another form that you can write linear equations in, and it involves you having a point and a slope. That's why it's called the point slope form. Here's what it looks like. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. The m is the same thing it always has been. The m is your slope. But this time we have an x sub 1 and a y sub 1, which represent the point that you're given. If you look over here at this this picture, you'll notice that x sub 1 and y sub 1 are just some other point on the line. Notice that in the slope-intercept form, we always were talking about where the y touched where the line touched the y-axis, the y-intercept. Well, this is a case where we don't have that point, we have some other point, and we can plug it into the slope-intercept form. Here are some examples for using the slope-intercept form. I'll write it down here. So we have to write the form of each one of these equations. The slope here is -2, so I'm going to take a -2 and plug it in place of the m. And then this point that I see, 1, 3, I use the x value and I plug that in for x sub 1. And the y value gets plugged for y sub 1, so y minus 3. And that's all I have to do. I take my m and I substitute it in place of the m. I take my x and y and put those in place of x sub 1 and y sub 1. And that's what the point slope form of that equation looks like. Here's another example. My point -1, -2. So -2 is my y sub 1. My m is 3. And my x sub 1 is -1. I'm going to rewrite this. Instead of minus and negative, I'm going to make these y plus 2 and x plus 1. And then the last one, my point is 2, -2. So subtract -2. Slope is a 0, and x sub 1 is a 2. Now the interesting thing here is that 0 times anything is just going to give me a 0. So we'll rewrite this as y plus 2 equals 0. And now if I subtract the 2 from both sides, we end up with an equation of y equals -2, which goes back to something we've learned in the past, that horizontal lines that have a slope of 0, they're always y equals a number, and in this case it's y equals -2.